Welcome back, everybody. We're at part 2 of the one line of code challenge. And if you haven't watched part 1 where I took 100 3-point shots, pause this video, check that one out, and come right back because I spent a lot of time editing it, had a really great time recording it and thinking it through. And although I embarrassed myself for a good portion of it, it was a fun time. So yeah, go check it out. I put a link in the top right corner and in the description. So speaking of fun, my first idea for the 30 lines of code that I was supposed to use to make a program was to use the YouTube data API to get all my latest videos and all the related content, and to just tell me a bunch of stuff about my channel, about my videos, and also remind me of when to upload a new video. Speaking of fun, I said, it was the exact opposite. I spent hours, days, and even weeks. As you can tell, it's been 2 weeks since I uploaded that first video, just trying to research, trying to figure out exactly how this API works, how to set it up to work for my computer. And I finally created a program, and then I realized, wait a second, this wasn't fun at all. This wasn't fun recording. This wasn't fun editing. So I scrapped the entire idea from the start because I think at some point I lost sense of what really made my channel so special, why I like making videos. And it's not to be an educational channel. Like, don't get me wrong, I like it when my viewers learn stuff from my videos, but there's so many educational computer science channels out right now, ones that I watch myself almost daily, and I don't think I want to be one of them, at least not entirely. I want you to learn something, but I don't think education is going to be the primary motivation behind my videos. I want to share with you guys the things that I care about and I have fun with, whether that's comedy, video games, basketball, or programming. And it's not to say that making tutorials is boring or anything, but while creating the app that I was going to use for this video, I wasn't having fun. I wasn't having fun recording it. I wasn't having fun editing all the pieces that it came with. And it really made me realize that I want to take this channel to the next level, but from the foundation, I want to have fun the whole time. It doesn't make sense to make the kind of content that I wouldn't want to binge watch myself, and that's just how it is. So moving forward from this point on, I'm gonna make this channel on my own terms and make really great content, try the best of my ability. And when I get to the point where I can look back on this and see how much larger I've grown, I'll be like, dang, it's a good thing I didn't make that tutorial on how to make a YouTube app with only 30 lines of code. However, in my last video, I did promise you all 30 lines of code, and I'm not gonna go back on that promise. In fact, it's a great opportunity to show you how I'm switching up from all the complicated, all over the place programming stuff, and sort of make this channel a lot more like simpler, a lot more down to earth for people that aren't as familiar with computer science, especially those who are my subscribers for basketball and are trying to get into all the computer science stuff, but it's still a little complicated. I'm going to introduce to you some of the principles, the foundational stuff that I'm going to be using in my videos. Whenever I make a project or have a video idea and I want to express that with code, I use what's called a programming language. A programming language is something that we use as humans to help us talk and communicate to computers. And one of the most popular programming languages, and one that I like to use a lot on my channel, is called Python. What Python is, it's one of thousands of programming languages. And I like using it, especially for videos, because it's really easy to understand compared to most of them. And it almost reads like English. Of course, it's not going to exactly read like that, but it's really simple and intuitive, especially compared to the other options. One of the main things you can do with programming languages is store information. For example, I can store my name in a variable called name, and I can set it to Tobi, meaning that anywhere I use the name variable, my name will be underneath. And I can do the same with integers as well, not just words and letters. I can have this variable called age, and within it, it stores that's not my real age, but it stores the number 35 underneath. So not only can you store words, letters, and numbers with programming languages, you can also store something called a Boolean, which is a variable that can only have 2 values, true or false. So here with YouTuber, that's true. And if I wasn't a YouTuber, it'd be false. And basically that's it. Okay, that's not really it. It can obviously get a whole lot more complicated than this, but at its heart, programming is really just using these building blocks here. Sometimes you can represent data in more complicated ways as well, such as if you were to create a list. Here I have a list called players of some of the greatest basketball players in NBA history. And if you notice the commas, each comma separates the item of the list. So I have 3 items currently. And sometimes things I do in my videos, I use what's called a for loop to go through each item in the list and to do something like here in the example, get the stats of the player. If you notice get stats is highlighted in blue, that's because it's something we call a function. A simple description could be an operation that we defined that returns some important value to us of any kind. So what that means is I can create a function where I do stuff within it, and I name this function something so I can use it anywhere I want. So for here, get stats, what it will do is take in a player as an input, and let's say we just magically got all the NBA stats that are available right now. What we want to do is use this function to give us the NBA stats for a particular player. So every time I use this function get stats, that's what's going to happen under the surface. So if you're still watching up to this point, thanks a lot. And if you could just take a second to like the video, it really helps not only this video, but my entire channel. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I did say I don't want this to be an educational first channel, and I'm just giving you right now a brief rundown of how programming works. But that's just because going forward, I want all of my fans, no matter what kind of background, I said fans, no matter what kind of background my subscribers have, whether you're a computer science student or someone that's never even heard of what programming is, I want you to have some part in the video and be able to follow along. So I'm laying this video down right here as the foundation that you can go back to anytime I might do some crazy stuff in the future. You can just check this out and you'll know what's going on. So I just realized we're at 27 about lines of code. So let's wrap it up with one more important thing to know. There's something called if statements in programming languages, where basically you set up a condition check where if something is true, then you want to do something. And if it's not true, then you're not going to do it. So for example, say I have a variable called the sky is blue. And if it's true, if the sky is blue, then we'll want to return something. So return happiness if the sky is blue, else give us sadness, something like that pretty much. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I think you'll need to know to follow along with Tobi the Great videos. And that's pretty much it, the 30 lines of code challenge. This has been a 30-line lesson in computer science and programming from Tobi the Great, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you want to stick around and subscribe and see where this channel goes in the future, and hopefully I'll be committing to a more consistent video schedule, subscribe, hit the like button, comment. Oh, I forgot the last line. When my next video date is, I think I'll set that to